If you're watching this video, which is of course kind of a strange question because of course you're watching this video, as you're watching this video, I'm guessing that you're either living abroad or want to live abroad or are interested in travel in general. Regardless, you're probably interested in what's going to happen as borders begin to open up and travel restrictions begin to lift. We did a short video on the Canada-US border here, but how will governments and thus airlines, ferries, and trains, and even border guards around the world handle the question? And they're going to ask this question, are you putting people at risk by traveling? Going forward, one of the ways that it's been floated of mediating your risk to others is to check if you've been vaccinated for the COVID-19 virus or not. Now, this might sound a bit obvious, but how do you check? Well, naturally, some form of documentation. Now, this could be a certificate or, as some have called it, a vaccination passport.
Vaccine passports are coming. Someday soon, you may need to prove your COVID status to go to the pub, travel abroad, or even go to work.
Before I go any further, I want to say that the purpose of this video is not to lend support for any certificate or passport, nor is it to say that the idea is not good. The purpose here is to give some information on the idea and also to ask you, what do you think? And I would invite you to comment with your thoughts. Now, one of the primary things about this idea is that it seems almost inevitable that some form of documentation will be required to travel.
As was the case pre-pandemic, certificates of vaccination are a part of international travel to certain regions and are naturally to be expected when it comes to this pandemic and the coronavirus.
A lot of countries have said that they are in discussion about not only what to do, but probably more importantly, how to implement policies. In other words, it's already a foregone conclusion in the minds of many policymakers around the world that there will be some requirement to show proof of vaccination in order to travel to that country. Canada, as well as the EU, is in this boat.
Health authorities in Britain and Europe are currently creating a digital vaccine passport scheme for holidaymakers.
There are some potential hiccups. For example, the state of Texas has said that they won't allow certain bodies to require a certificate of vaccination.
There's been quite a bit of news about passports recently. No, not that passport. Vaccine passports, a way to prove that you've been vaccinated against COVID-19, and companies are developing them. But Texas Governor Greg Abbott says not so fast.
Government should not require any Texan to show proof of vaccination and reveal private health information just to go about their daily lives.
His new executive order prohibits government-mandated vaccine passports in Texas.
So is the state of Florida. So the question is, will that affect what governments like Canada or EU countries do? Do state governments have jurisdiction over what specific airlines require in order for someone to board a flight, even if those requirements are imposed by another government? If they do, will Canada or the EU then restrict direct flights from those states? Again, I'd be interested to read your thoughts on this. I do know that there is, of course, precedent for some countries to require certificate of vaccination for some diseases like yellow fever or malaria, as the mayor of Niagara Falls said in an interview.
I can't travel to certain countries without proof of malaria vaccinations and other vaccinations. That's okay. That's a safety protocol, and I have no problem with that.
Here's my guess as to how this will play out. Countries around the world will at some point implement a policy that says, in order to board any international flight, you'll be required without exception to produce some form of either physical documentation that will need to be standardized to prevent counterfeiting, or a digital version that is accessed and displayed on your smartphone. even states with rules about private companies requiring documentation will eventually capitulate to airlines and governments with direct international flights. Now, this is nothing more than my personal prediction. I could be wrong, as I often am, but going forward, I'll try to provide updates. I would invite you to subscribe to the channel and, of course, the little bell so that you get notifications and you won't miss a video. Thanks for watching. Until next time.